They don't have faith. They don't believe that it's going to happen or happen soon enough. You know, we're in a culture where we want things right now. You got to be careful with that because that'll destroy you. You end up dabbling and you end up giving up and you end up missing out on so many amazing things that life has to offer if you give up too soon.
A few years ago, I was in my office. It was around 9:30 in the evening. And I was shuffling bits of paper and wondering, who am I going to go and see for a bit of business to earn some fees to pay those bills? And the office security guard came in the building to lock up. And he just said to me, time to lock up. And I said, just give me 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes. And then he walked away and I just stood up and went to the filing cabinet and looked at a few files. Who could I call for a bit of business? Then he came back again and I said, well, just give me 2 more minutes. And then in that moment, he asked me a question. And this one question changed the whole of my life. He said to me, what time do you get in this morning? I just said, well, 8 o'clock, and then he walked away. But as I stood there by the filing cabinet, I realized, well, I've been up since 6, on the road at 7, in the office at 8 o'clock. It's now 10 in the evening almost. By the time I get home, it's going to be something like 11:45 at night. And I've done that, not just today, but last week and the week before, in fact, for months, in fact, for years I've been doing that. And being absent from my family, working all these hours, getting absolutely nowhere. And in that moment, I remember standing by the filing cabinet and I grabbed the filing drawer and I just slammed it. And I said, I've had enough of this. In that moment, I had an idea. And the idea came through me. The idea said to me, what you need to do to achieve your goals is you have to set daily standards and live by those standards. Set standards from who you are, authentically from yourself, and be that person just one day at a time. What I did next was I created a sheet that had all my new standards in, you know, how I would take my kids to school in the morning and pick them up from school 3 nights a week, and no more working weekends. That's another rule, another standard. No more evening appointments for clients. And any clients that I have from this point onwards, they'd have to come and see me in the office from anywhere in the country. And also I'd go home and I would have, you know, meals with my family, and I would exercise and train every single day. I even made standards around my clients, how much income they should have, the wealth that they should have, and they must be nice people. I've got my goals, but unless I'm involved and committed to my life on a daily basis, the only unit of time we really have is today, because we're here today. I was one of the worst producers in the company, although I did the most hours. I was about 1200th in terms of new business results. 3 years later, after my moment, the company's 1,600 strong, and I'm 28th in the company working part-time. I'd increased my income by 10 times, working less than half the time that I used to, sticking to these standards and being my authentic self. So my life changed. We had lots of holidays, we bought another home, and we had all the trappings of life. But my real riches came in my relationships with my wife, my children. I became a better son. I became a better brother, a better friend to all those around me, and I grew rich in relationships and in love.
Well, I've been rich and I've been poor. Rich is a lot better, but rich means I don't have to change my time for someone else's money. I can do anything I want because I think it's good and pure and powerful and honorable and significant. I get to do what I want to do. So whether it's feeding people in Haiti or sending 500 kids to college or creating a nice lifestyle for myself and those people I care about, being rich is living life the way you feel you should be and having the wherewithal to do it.
The Henry Ford story totally blew me away, and I was able to read it and immediately act on it. I was great at certain things in my business, which I knew what they were: imagination. I was great at marketing. I was great at recruiting, all the outside things, but I wasn't any good at all at reading numbers or understanding finance. When I read that Henry Ford story, I immediately went out and I hired Esther Kaplan, my opposite, as my business partner. She could do financial statements, get the money from the bank, create the systems, do personnel management, all the stuff that I wasn't good at, she was great at. And if not for that story, I don't think I would have seen the light that you can always hire the attributes in the next guy that you don't have yourself and build an empire on their know-how versus your know-how. And that made me really not only smarter, but set me free.
Not merely an ignorant idealist, but an anarchistic enemy of the nation, capable of thought, cannot see the ignominy. Get me Landers. Did you see it? It's libel. I'm going to sue the Chicago Tribune for $1 million.
On this day in 1919, the whole world was watching to see if Henry Ford could prove that his success was not by chance. The only question was, would he succeed?
Mr. Ford, is today the day? How does it feel to be the voice of the common man? Mr. Ford, what do you think, Will you win?
Your Honor, since the case for libel rests on the determination as to whether what the Chicago Tribune printed was